In this video, I'm going to explain why it's so difficult to get started with a daily routine of prayer. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Praying Well. It is great to have you here. Thank you for taking the time. If you're somebody who's familiar with this channel, then welcome back. It's great to have you. And if you're just stumbling across Praying Well, I don't know why you haven't found us before, it's so good to have you. My job is really simple. It's to help you pray consistently, and to develop that daily ritual and habit of prayer. Now, first, I want to say a word of thanks to my patrons. And if you're interested in becoming a patron, in other words, a supporter of this YouTube channel, I would love for you to consider that. There's no better compliment than to support someone financially and through word of mouth. So I know that many of you have already been through word of mouth supporting and telling other people about Praying Well, but now I'd like to invite you really directly, personally, to consider becoming a patron. Many times throughout history, people of goodwill have supported artists and musicians and people of faith and people of goodwill through their financial generosity. And I would like to give you that opportunity too. Actually, I'd be honored if you would consider becoming a monthly patron so that we can continue to make videos just like this. It's so simple. All you have to do is go over to my website, MikeSt.Pierre.com, how about that, and click on donate at the very top. Okay, with that said, let's get to today's video. All right, I want you to imagine for a second that you're sitting in church. Maybe it's this past Sunday, maybe it's a Sunday coming up, whenever. You get the picture. And the pastor says, how many of you, with the showing of your hands, have had a daily time of prayer in the past week? You can imagine how awkward this would be, right? People would start looking down, they'd look around, they'd hope maybe somebody else puts their hand up, maybe somebody like the church lady in the back row, she puts her hand up. But if we're honest, most Christians, most believing good Christians, are not having a daily time of prayer. And I want to kind of unpack this a little bit as to why this is the case. I mean, it's not really shocking. I mean, most Christians don't tithe, most Christians don't read their Bible, and a lot of Christians don't even go to church. So those are all kinds of other conversations for another day. But today we want to focus in on the whole habit of daily prayer. I'd like to suggest that most of us don't have a daily habit of prayer, or why it's so difficult to develop this habit, this muscle of prayer, for a couple reasons. I think one reason is we don't have a system or a method or a kind of recommended routine that we typically promote. You've heard me talk about it in other videos, and I'll put it in the show notes, the ACTS method of prayer, ACTS, adoration, confession, thanksgiving, and supplication. Great method. If every pastor, if every priest all over the country promoted that and said to their parishioners, their congregation, we recommend that you have a daily time of prayer every morning, 5, 10, 15 minutes, and you should use ACTS, I think a lot more people would try it. It's just that most of us, all we hear is these sort of generalities. You should pray, prayer is good, and most of us are in the pew saying, I know, but teach me how to pray. Give me a system, give me a method. And the thing is this, without a system or a method, what happens? You don't build momentum, spiritual momentum, and without spiritual momentum, you lack confidence. So the system contributes to the momentum, contributes to confidence. So if nothing else this week, just be reminded, be affirmed from me to you that it's a great investment in your relationship with Christ, in your relationship with God, to have a daily time of prayer. It's old-fashioned, I know, it's like blocking and tackling, it's common sense. You could make this video, you really could. But I'm telling you today, as somebody who cares about your faith life, that a little bit of investment into your morning time of prayer can go a long way. I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and if you've liked what you've heard, make sure you subscribe and like, and of course, share this video with someone else. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. As a follow-up, head on over to my blog at MikeSt.Pierre.com. Want to go even further? Why not purchase my brand new book, The 5 Habits of Prayerful People? Just head over to Amazon or wherever great books are sold.